So I think really now it's about sort of doing a recap of everything that's been said so far. So, you know, one of the things that's been said over and over and over again, particularly from Gwyn, is that top-down sponsorship and empowerment is absolutely crucial. The strategy, the vision, purpose, it needs to be clearly defined, it needs to be sponsored and communicated by the C-suite through the whole organisation. You need to ensure that you're involved in senior management from the beginning and making sure that senior management understand the basics of why they're doing it, what they're doing and how to approach it. You also need to ensure that you're empowering the teams. You need to keep on asking them, how can we do things better? And that question just keeps on being asked, and you're giving them the opportunity to be part of that process. It needs to be strategically aligned with the corporate strategy or your overall strategy. So it becomes part of BAU. Your KPIs are aligned, your objectives are aligned. It doesn't become another initiative that they're vying to spin the plates with on a daily basis with their other jobs. Bottom-up engagement, you need to make sure that you're empowering the workforce, that they own it and they're delivering it. You're also making sure that you're educating the importance of their individual role within the value chain and how they impact the business and continuous excellence, and how they can make sure that that continues to grow and it becomes the heartbeat of the organisation. Communication, there needs to be a consistent message and it needs to be a consistent purpose of why you're doing it. You need to make sure that there's an open channel of communication that can foster collaboration across the organisation for idea generation and feedback, and make sure that there is a feedback loop within the organisation so they know that you're acknowledging what they've got to say and the ideas that need to be improved and how you approach it. And as Pete said, communicate success. Success is not communicated enough. There's always people patting you on the shoulder and saying what you've done wrong. But why don't you tell people why they've done things successfully? They've made a change and they've made an improvement and their ideas have come to the table. Just keep on embracing that, and then people will want to actually enjoy that and be motivated to do it. In terms of training and knowledge, yes, right at the beginning, there is a need to make sure that you're employing a coach or consultant that's an expert within these areas. You need to make sure that you're training the basic principles in your senior management and making sure that they understand how to do things. So when people are challenging and questioning or need guidance or support, they can provide that support as well. You need to make sure that you establish a training program and that you make sure that you rotate and onboard CE champions within the organisation, not just within the manufacturing operation, but within each of the departments. So they're all part of that process and they understand how it all can be approached. Finally, making sure that you have a company-wide delivery. Everyone in the value chain is involved in it. They know their importance of how they can delight the customer, and you make sure that you're beginning in management offices. Basics first, making sure that you have the basic principles in place, then you do the value stream mapping. And don't try to duplicate a process or CE program that comes from another place. Yes, you use the tools. Yes, you make sure that you apply the same methodology, but in terms of the framework and the approach that you apply, you need to build your own, because not everybody's the same. There's not one size that fits all, and there's not one approach that actually achieves that. As it's mentioned already, is that you have metrics and KPIs in place that are visible, they're valid, and they're relevant. You make sure you review and you update them on a regular basis, and you work with the teams to make sure that they're the right KPIs. Things change over time, and at some point, those KPIs and the metrics that you're measuring might not be important anymore. There may be something else that you need to focus on. And you need to work together and use the right metrics and make sure that they're updated. And then, of course, you need to have an audit process that's put in place. So you're making sure that you've got a robust auditing process to sustain continuous excellence. You audit, you review, you adjust, you improve, and then the cycle continues. But you're sharing those successes all the way through that process. So that's where I finish at this point, and